1. As easy as pie means very easy, same as a piece of cake. Example: he said it is a difficult problem, but I don't agree. It seems as easy as pie to me. 2. Be sick and tired of means I hate, also I can't stand. Example: I'm sick and tired of doing nothing but work. Let's go out tonight and have fun. 3. Bend over backward means try very hard, maybe too much. Example: he bent over backward to please his new wife, but she never seemed satisfied. 4. Bite off more than one can chew means take responsibility for more than one can manage. Example: John is so far behind in his studies. Besides classes, he plays sports and works at a part-time job. It seems he has bitten off more than he can chew. 5. Broke means to have no money. Example: I have to borrow some money from my dad. Right now, I'm broke. 6. Change one's mind means decide to do something different from what had been decided earlier. Example: I was planning to work late tonight, but I changed my mind. I'll do extra work on the weekend instead. 7. Cut it out means stop doing something bad. Example: that noise is really annoying. Cut it out. 8. Drop someone a line means send a letter or email to someone. Example: it was good to meet you and I hope we can see each other again. Drop me a line when you have time. 9. Figure something out means come to understand a problem. Example: I don't understand how to do this problem. Take a look at it. Maybe you can figure it out. 10. Fill in for someone means do their work while they are away. Example: while I was away from the store, my brother filled in for me. 11. In ages means for a very long time. Example: have you seen Joe recently? I haven't seen him in ages. 12. Give someone a hand means help. Example: I want to move this desk to the next room. Can you give me a hand? 13. Hit the hay means go to bed, also hit the sack. Example: it's after 12 o'clock. I think it's time to hit the hay. 14. In the black means the business is making money, it is profitable. Example: our business is really improving. We've been in the black all year. 15. In the red means the business is losing money, it is unprofitable. Example: business is really going poorly these days. We've been in the red for the past 3 months. 16. In the nick of time means not too late, but very close. Example: I got to the drugstore just in the nick of time. It's a good thing because I really need this medicine. 17. Keep one's chin up means remain brave and keep on trying. Example: I know things have been difficult for you recently, but keep your chin up. It will get better soon. 18. Know something like the back of your hand means know something very, very well. Example: if you get lost, just ask me for directions. I know this part of town like the back of my hand. 19. once in a while means sometimes, not very often. Example, have you been to the new movie theater? No, only see movies once in a while. I usually stay at home and watch TV. 20. Sharp means exactly at that time. Example, I'll meet you at 9 o'clock sharp. If you're late, we'll be in trouble. 21. Sleep on it means think about something before making a decision. Example, that sounds like a good deal, but I'd like to sleep on it before I give you my final decision. 22. Take it easy means relax. Example, I don't have any special plans for the summer. I think I'll just take it easy. 23. To get the ball rolling means start something, especially something big. Example, we need to get this project started as soon as possible. I'm hoping you will help me get the ball rolling. 24. Up to the minute means the most recent information. Example, I wish I knew more about what is happening in the capital city. We need more up-to-the-minute news. 25. 24/7 means every minute of every day, all the time. Example, you can access our website 24/7. It's very convenient. 25. About to do something means to be on the point of doing something. Example, I was about to leave when the phone rang. 26. According to someone or something means as said or told by someone, in agreement with something, in the order of something, in proportion to something. Example, according to our teacher, there will be no class next week. We did everything according to the terms of our agreement. 27. Account for something means to provide an explanation or answer for something. Example, the bad weather accounts for the fact that few people came to the meeting. 28. After all means considering the fact that something happened, something that is usually assumed you don't need to phone him. Example, after all, he never phones you. 29. All of a sudden means suddenly, without advance warning. Example, all of a sudden it became cloudy and began to rain. 30. As a matter of fact means actually. Example, as a matter of fact, we have been to the History Museum many times. 31. As far as means to the extent or degree of something. Example, as far as I know the movie will start in a few minutes. 32. As for means with regard to, concerning. Example, as for me, I think that I will return home now. 33. As if means in the same way that something would be, that. Example, the drink tastes as if it were made with orange juice. It seemed as if the whole town came to the concert. 34. As long as means provided that, on condition that. Example, as long as you promise to be careful you can borrow my car. 35. As soon as means just after something. Example, when I phoned my friend as soon as I finished dinner. 36. As to means with regard to, according to. Example, as to your question, I will answer it tomorrow. The players were put into groups as to their ability. 37. As well means in addition, also, to. Example, I plan to take a computer course this summer as well. 38. As well as means in addition to. Example, please bring your swimming suit as well as your towel. 39. Back and forth means backwards and forwards, first one way and then the other way. Example, the argument went back and forth before the judge made a decision. 40. Better off means to be in a better situation than before. Example, my friend would be better off if he sold his old car and bought a new one. 41. Break down something means to divide something into parts, to separate something into simpler substances. Example, we tried to break down the problem for further study. The sugar began to break down soon after it was swallowed. 42. Break up means to separate, to divide into groups or pieces, to put an end to something. Example, nobody wanted to break up their groups. We usually break up into small groups during our class. 43. By the way means incidentally. Example, by the way, could you please bring your laptop computer tomorrow? 44. Carry out something means to put something into action, to accomplish something, to do something. Example, the scientist wanted to carry out several experiments before discussing the new medicine. 45. Come on means please, hurry, go faster. Example, come on, I only have a few minutes before I must go. Come on, stop doing that. 46. Come up means to happen unexpectedly. Example, I will not be able to go to the party if something else comes up. 47. Come up with something means to produce or find a thought, idea, answer. Example, I tried to come up with a name for the new magazine. 48. Deal with something means to be concerned with something, to take action about something. Example, we will deal with the boxes tomorrow. 49. End up doing something or going somewhere means to do something that one had not planned to do, to go somewhere one had not planned to go. Example, we ended up going to a restaurant after the movie last night. 50. Figure out someone or something means to try to understand someone or something, to solve something. Example, I finally figured out how to use the new DVD player. 51. About to do something means to be on the point of doing something. Example, I was about to leave when the phone rang. 52. Fill in something means to write words in blank spaces. Example, please fill in this form and give it to the receptionist. 53. Find out something means to learn or discover something. Example, my mother is angry at me because she found out that I had quit my French class. 54. First of all means the very first thing. Example, first of all we prepared the garden and then we planted the seeds. 55. For good means permanently. Example, the city will close the public swimming pool for good next week. 56. For sure means without a doubt, certainly, surely. Example, I will go to the movie with you for sure next week. 57. Get back to something means to return to something. Example, I was happy to get back to work after my holiday. 58. Get into something means to become interested or involved in something. Example, I do not want to get into an argument with my friend. We will get into the details of the plan tomorrow. 59. Get into somewhere means to enter somewhere. Example, my friend wants to get into a good university. I bumped my head as I was getting into the car. 60. Get out of somewhere means to leave somewhere, to escape from somewhere. Example, I want to hurry and get out of my house. 61. Get rid of something means to give or throw something away, to sell or destroy something, to make a cold or fever disappear. Example, I bought a new television set, so I want to get rid of the old one. 62. Get through something means to complete something, to finish something. Example, my friend is having trouble getting through her final exams. I have much reading that I must get through before tomorrow. 63. Go ahead means to begin to do something. Example, let's go ahead and start now. We can't wait any longer. 64. Go on means to continue. Example, the game will probably go on for an hour after we leave. 65. Go over something means to examine or review something. Example, the accountant will go over the books tomorrow. We plan to go over that question tomorrow. 66. Go through something means to discuss something, to look at something, to do something. Example, the teacher decided to go through the exercise before the test. 67. Go with something means to choose one thing rather than another. Example, we decided to go with the small rental car rather than the large one. 68. Hang out somewhere with someone means to spend one's time with no great purpose, to spend leisure time with friends. Example, recently my friend has been hanging out with a group of people who are not a good influence on him. 69. Have something to do with something means to be about something, to be on the subject of something, to be related to something. Example, the book has something to do with cooking, but I am not sure if you will like it. That problem has nothing to do with me. 70. Hold on means to wait a minute, to stop, to wait and not hang up the phone. Example, please hold on for a minute while I lock the window. 71. In a way means to a certain extent, a little, somewhat. Example, in a way, I want to go to the new restaurant, but in a way, I don't really care. 72. In the case means if something should happen. Example, I will take my umbrella in case it rains. 73. In common means shared together or equally, in use or ownership by all. Example, I had nothing in common with the other members of the class. 74. In detail means giving all the details, item by item. Example, the saleswoman explained about the new product in detail. 75. In effect means for practical purposes, basically. Example, the man's silence was in effect a way of disagreeing with the other people in the meeting. 76. In fact means actually, the truth is. Example, the man has been to China before. In fact, he has been there 3 times. 77. In favor of someone or something means to approve or support someone or something. Example, everybody is in favor of the new police chief. My company is not in favor of changing our holiday schedule. 78. In general means in most situations or circumstances. Example, in general, most of the people in our apartment are happy with the new manager. 79. In order to mean for the purpose of. Example, they have decided to close down the school for the summer in order to do some major repairs. 80. In other words means in a different, usually more direct, way. Example, in other words, if you do not finish the assignment by Wednesday, you will not pass the course. 81. In place means in the proper place or location. Example, everything in the room was in place when we arrived for the meeting. 82. In some ways means in some unspecified way or manner, by some unspecified means. Example, in some ways, I know what my friend means, but in some ways I do not. 83. In terms of something means with regard to something. Example, in terms of our agreement with the other company we were not allowed to sell the products online. 84. In time means early enough. Example, I did not come home in time to meet my cousin. 85. Keep someone or something in mind means to remember and think about someone or something. Example, I told my coworkers to keep the new starting time for work in mind. 86. Kind of means somewhat, more or less, moderately. Example, I was kind of tired when I arrived home last night. 87. Look for something means to try to find something, to hunt search for something. Example, my friend has been looking for her credit card all morning, but she can't find it. 88. Look up something means to search for something in a dictionary or other book. Example, I will look up my friend's name in the telephone book. I looked up the word in the dictionary. 89. Make a difference means to cause a change in a situation. Example, it does not make a difference whether our boss comes to the meeting or not. 90. Make sense means to seem reasonable. Example, his new proposal really does make sense. 91. Make sure means to make certain, to establish something without a doubt. Example, I want to make sure that my friend is going to meet me tomorrow. 92. More or less means somewhat, to some extent. Example, I more or less have decided to study business next year. 93. No matter means regardless. Example, no matter how hard I try, my piano teacher is never satisfied. 94. Not at all means certainly not. Example, I am not at all happy with my new computer. 95. Of course means certainly, definitely, naturally. Example, of course you can use my car if you want to. 96. On the other hand means, however, in contrast, looking at the opposite side of a matter. Example, He is very intelligent, but on the other hand he is very lazy and always gets low marks at school. 97. On time means at the scheduled time, exactly at the correct time, punctually. Example, our train arrived exactly on time. 98. Once again means again, one more time, once more. Example, I tried once again to phone my boss at his home. 99. Open to something means to be agreeable to learn or hear about new ideas or suggestions. Example, most members of the class were open to the teacher's ideas. 100. Pick up something means to get or receive something. Example, I will pick up my dry cleaning tomorrow. I picked up a copy of the newspaper at the station. 101. Point out someone or something means to explain or call attention to someone or something. Example, my teacher was very kind when she pointed out the mistakes that I had made. 102. Put out something means to produce or make something, a product, brochure, report, CD, movie, paper. Example, the company puts out a newsletter every month for the employees. 103. Regardless of something means without considering or thinking about something, without regard to something. Example, regardless of the weather, we are going to go fishing tomorrow morning. 104. Right away means immediately. Example, forgot to bring my book, but I will go home and get it right away. 105. Rule out someone or something means to decide against or eliminate someone or something. Example, the police ruled out the man as a possible bank robber. We decided to rule out Monday as the day to have our meeting. 106. Run into something, a fact, trouble, problems, difficulty, means to experience something, to encounter something. Example, the mechanic ran into trouble when he was fixing my car. I ran into some interesting facts when I was researching my essay. 107. Set up something means to establish something, to provide the money for something. Example, the newspaper company provided the money to set up the new travel magazine. The company set up a unique situation to test the new product. 108. Show up means to appear, to arrive, to be present. Example, what time did your friend show up for the party? 109. So far means until now, so far. Example, no one has entered the speech contest at the television station. 110. So to speak means as one might or could say, this is one way to say something. Example, we had a good time at the restaurant, so to speak, although the service was not very good. 111. Sort of something means to be almost something, to be similar to something, to be not quite something. Example, did you finish cleaning the kitchen? Sort of, but not really. 112. Stick with something means to continue doing something, to not quite something. Example, my brother has been able to stick with his trumpet lessons since he was a child. 113. Take advantage of someone or something means to use someone or something for one's own benefit. Example, we took advantage of the beautiful weather and went to the beach. 114. Take care of someone or something means to look after or give attention to someone or something. Example, you should take care of your health or you will become sick. 115. Take out something means to remove something from somewhere, to extract something. Example, the teacher told us to take out our books. I took out some onions from the refrigerator. 116. Take over something means to take control of something, to take command of something. Example, the large company wants to take over some of the small companies in our area. 117. Take place means to happen, to occur. Example, the soccer game took place on the coldest day of the year. 118. To the extent that means to the degree that, in so far as. Example, I plan to provide information about the new company policy to the extent that I am familiar with it. 119. Turn in something means to give something to someone, to hand something to someone. Example, I arrived at school early so that I could turn in my essay. 120. Turn out means to be found or known, to prove to be true. Example, it turned out that more people came to the party than we expected.